Well, the weekend has begun, but we do not end things here. So, for today, we're going to do three reviews from three different promotions. The first one, as you know, this was the last one of the month of February on the 28th. It features CML Viernes Espectacular, or as we call it in English, Friday Spectacular. This one featured many matches, such as 2 out of 3 fall matches, including a very unique tournament that entered in their finals. But the main event features Konosuke Takeshita making his CML debut, defending the Never Openweight Championship against Angel de Oro. And then, of course, we move on with Stardom with their much recent show, New Blood 19. This one featured many rookies, including coming from other promotions. But the main event features, of course, Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama defending the New Blood Tag Team belts for the first time against a team coming from Diana. So the real question is, will they put themselves to the test to defend their belts? Well, we'll see what happens from there on. And then finally, AEW Collision featuring many matches. The TNT title is on the line. Adam Cole defends his championship against Daniel Garcia. And of course, we have very other things taking place as well, including Bandido and Powerhouse Hobbs taking on the members of the Learning Tree, Big Bill and Brian Keith. And then, of course, we cap up our episode only give you guys updates on upcoming events from the promotions, such as what events they're throwing out, who's booked, and what matches are set. And of course, we do not have no new developments as at all to see what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world, pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos. We talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or nice comments in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to land ho. So let's begin with our very first review, and this is coming all the way from Mexico, CML's Viernes Espectacular. Alrighty then, so let's begin with, of course, CMLL, or as we know it, Consejo Mundial Lucha Libre, with their much recent event, which was their last show of the month of February, Viernes Espectacular, which means Friday Spectacular. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is nothing compared like any other promotion. Some matches are straight up one fall, and there's the 2 out of 3 falls. So I will reveal which ones is which. So we'll go from A through Z on this one. Now, first match, we have a 6-man tag team match with only one fall. Team number 1, we have El Coyote, Espanto Jr. and Barboza. They take on a group called themselves Astrapa Sueños, consistent of Espíritu Negro, Rey Cormeta, and Dulce Gardenia. Now, no, I am familiarized with wrestlers like Espanto Jr. and Rey Cormeta, so basically nothing new for me on that part. However, I wasn't too sure who was going to win because I don't follow that much of the CML in recent times. But I can go straight to the end that this one won by submission, all thanks to Dulce Gardenia when he applied it on El Coyote, and just like that, it was over. Now, our next two matches we do have are in fact 2 out of 3 falls in a tag team match setup. First match, we have Zeuxis and Sanelli. They take on India Xux and Persephone. Now, this match ended up in a first fall by India and Persephone, all thanks to a double pinfall by both these ladies. However, in the second fall, it resulted in a disqualification. Now, you all know the rules when it comes to Lucha Libre. If you remove the wrestler's mask, you are automatically disqualified. That only applies if you're in Mexico. How that's what exactly happened. Apparently, Zeuxis and Sinele removed India Xois's mask, and just like that, things went out of control. So you probably can guess how that ends up. Now, our second match, involving a 2 out of 3 falls match in a this one was in a 6-man tag team match instead. We have Difunto, Hijo de Villano 3, and Rocky Romero. They take on Capitan Suicida, Blue Panther, and of course, Flip Gordon. Yeah, same Flip Gordon from being the Elite, okay? And of course, yeah, this match, of course, falls in a went to Difunto, Villano Tres, and of course Rocky, all thanks to a pinfall by Villano Tres onto, of course, Capitan Suicida. Second fall falls into, of course, Capitan Suicida, Blue Panther, and Flip Gordon, all thanks to a very interesting 3 pinfalls by by the baby faces on this one. However, the third fall is the crucial part where, of course, it's tied. Whoever walks away wins the match. It falls into Difunto, Villano Tres, and Rocky, all thanks to Rocky when he made the pinfall onto, of course, onto Flip Gordon when he pinned him and used the ropes and ran like the coward that he was. So yeah, so that's a side of Rocky you guys don't know about. So that's how it ends. Now, our next match, this one is the semi-main event. This one features a very unique tournament called Torneo de Escuela Final in a 3-way match. Basically, it's like a faction type, but except these are people representing certain cities from Mexico. But it's an elimination match, so I'm not gonna bother too much how the elimination went down because there's too many people. They're like 3 teams and 5 people, so that's a total of 15. So I probably will lose count who walks away. But I can tell you who's representing them. That way you guys get a clear idea. Representing the team of Queretano, consisting of Tomiko Jr., Samurai Azteca, Galactico Dragon, Vengador, and Castigador Jr. They take on the team from Ciudad de Mexico, which is Mexico City, Fury Boy, Alexios, Poseidon, Pendula, and Troyano. And then, of course, finally, Equipo Puebla. We have El Vigia, Astro, Tiger Boy, Draco, and Blue Shark. So basically, those are the people. But the way this match ended, I can tell you who actually won this tournament. It was, of course, um, Ciudad de Mexico when Pendula applied an avalanche style clash onto Castigador. Just like that, it was over. So we'll go from there. Now, for our main event is the Never Openweight Championship. Konosuke Takeshita making his CML debut, taking on Angel de Oro. So nothing too special, but man, the match you probably would have think. I mean, there were good moments. You would have thought, okay, CML will have someone winning the Never Openweight title. But unfortunately, this match ended with Konosuke Takeshita applying his usual move, the Raging Fire, and then just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. He retained the championship. Just like that. So you probably can guess that how it ended. But it was a pretty good show. I'm not gonna lie about that. So hopefully down the line I'll do more of CML. If you guys want to see more of CML's content, just leave me a comment down below, and I'll consider doing it more often. Because I know I have to follow too many wrestling, mostly from Japan. But we'll see about that. So leave me a comment if you guys think I should do more of uh, Mexico's luchadors. I think some of you may want to see that. So for right now, let's move on with our next review, and this is from Stardom's New Blood 19. Okay, Stardom, New Blood 19. This is the much recent show. Now, for those who are new, are not familiarized with New Blood, it's not just the name of a show. It's also the of a, how do I say, the meaning of the New Blood means the wrestlers who are the rookies. There's two ways this going down. If you're there are Yoshi wrestlers. If you're under the age of 21, if you started as a teenager, that makes you New Blood. But if you have only 3 years of experience, that you're in a 3 year learning experience, like Mina Shirakawa was one of them. So was Unagi, and who else? I'm trying to think of a few others. Masakura and that. And also they showcase wrestlers who are in that predicament in that category with other promotions from, of course, GTO, uh, Diana, Seedling, um, who else? Sandai Girls, wherever promotions they're at. But let's just get started. Now, apparently, after the last time we did New Blood, um, Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama decided to look for some challengers who will be challenging. So they decided to put in a 1 day tournament that would determine the number one contenders. So we have two matches involving that. So this is the first match going. We have Rian and Kaoru Yanayama taking on Cosmic Angels members Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori, known as Sakura Daman. Now, of course, it's no secret that if you saw the last New Blood, Rian and Kaoru Yanayama ended up in the match together, and somehow they decided to team up for this. Now, deep down, you probably can guess how this match was going to end up. It will be Sakura Daman, since they already have a very established cohesion team, uh, going back all the way from the Goddesses Tag League, and they have become a good team. It was, of course, Sakura who picked up the win when she applied the high kick on Rion that put her and Yuna Mizumori in the semifinals of the tournament. Now, our next match involving that, of course, the tournament, we have the rookies Yuria Him and Akira Korigane taking on God's Eye members consistent of Ron Higami and our current future champion Hina. So you probably can guess how this was going to go. Of course, in a way, Yuria and Korigane were going to lose this match since they have the least experience out of everyone, and that's exactly how it ended. It was Hina who picked up the win on Yuria, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we had a very interesting match. We have Miku Kane versus Sayaka Kurara. Now, of course, this is the first time these two meet. They don't know each other personally, but they're well aware of each other. Of course, Kurara actually did mention that yes, they have the same age. Their birthdays are a few days apart, and they are part of the same they started at like almost around the same time in some capacity. So this was going to be interesting. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed in this match. I don't know when it happened, but there was a moment where, of course, I think she busted her lip, and Kurara was bleeding out. She even attempted to try the spear once, but it failed her. But of course, like the old saying goes, second time's a charm, and she pulled it off by picking up the win. And of course, Tam, as always concerned for Kurara, went to check up on her. She was okay from the mouth, so she seems okay. But it was a good win for her. We see a lot of expectations coming from her down the future, but we'll see where that goes. Now, our next match we have um, Hinoi Honori Hana and of course Mirai Kogia, all the way from Sealing. They take on Hate, Raka, and Rina. Now remember, those who know this, Raka made her debut in Sealing and she made a huge fuss of it by attacking everyone in their path. And you probably can guess that this is their way of trying to show them that they're the ones who will control the entire Yoshi world. And that's exactly what they were doing. It was, of course, Rina who picked up the win onto Hanori when she applied the Pink Devil, aka the Gori Bomb. And of course, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And then, of course, the post match promo, Rina was bragging about how they're going to take over Sealing. And of course, when it comes to Sealing, the rookies, Honori Hana, and of course, media were not going to let that happen. So they had to put every resource to stop them in every track. Now, our semi main event features the finals of the number one contendership of the New Blood Tag Team belts. We have God's Eye members Rane Agami and Hina taking on Sakura Daman from the Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura, and Yuna Mizumori. Now, there are boy, there are certain factors of this match where you probably can guess that it was going to fall in favor with one of these two teams. However, I wasn't too sure because, as you probably can guess, Hina would have won this match since she is the future champion. But no, there were moments, of course, where there's been like a bit of the rivalry between both Yagami and Sakura in some capacity, since they both have the same kind of karate expertise, the high kicks. But it was Sakura who picked up the win when she applied once again the high kick, and just like that, winning the team, becoming the number one contenders. Now, for our main event, we have the New Blood Tag Team belts, of course, um, coming from Diana, Himiko, and Nanami, taking on Hanako and Waka Tsukiyama of EXP, or better known as a tag team, Rice or Bread. So this was their first championship defense against, of course, these two. So you ask yourselves, will they pull it off? I can tell you that one thing that surprised me is that Waka, as we all know her once as the lovable underdog, she has grown so much, and she applied another brand new move I did not anticipate. Remember how she pulled off her first win against Nana Takahashi during a tag match? Well, she pulled it off again, but this time she applied what people are calling it a rolling, a front flip rolling senton onto, of course, my boy, on Himiko, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. And of course, we all know what's going to happen next. Their next challengers. So we'll leave things as that and move on with AEW Collision. Okay, AEW Collision. So it opened up with FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler taking on the members of the Undisputed Kingdom, were consistent of Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Now, as you probably remember, last time these guys tangoed a week before during that six-man tag that took place, I believe, in Dynamite. However, this time, of course, it was going to be different. But here's how things went down. There was a moment where Kyle O'Reilly got power drive by Dax Harwood, but there was a moment where the foot was on the rope and O'Reilly was able to escape it. So the match ended with, of course, how do I say this? With a restart. So basically, it was more like, okay, was this the smart choice or the right choice? However you want to call it. So this time it was a little bit more different. The restart ended with, of course, with Riley and Strong winning with the high-low on Wheeler, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, the pinfall by Roderick Strong, and they win the match. Now, our next match, we have Wheeler Yuta taking on Willie Mack. Now, as you all know, Wheeler Yuta is the only one standing amongst of course, the Death Riders. As you saw, Pac was eliminated, so was Marina and Claudio. But you probably can guess that Wheeler Yuta was intending to, you know, take his frustrations out on Willie Mack, and that's what he exactly did when he applied the Busaiku knee onto him, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. But however, the match was not over. John Moxley showed up and, of course, attacked Willie Mack. But this time, he told Wheeler Yuta that he has to do what is necessary this Wednesday. He ordered him to take out Cope before they reach to Revolution. So it sounds like John Moxley is desperate, knowing that things are not going as planned. Cope did warn them that he was going to take out everyone involved with the Death Riders. Looks like he's keeping his promise. Now, as you all know, we saw what happened with Mercedes Moné this past Wednesday. Uh, her TFBS title was taken by Momo Watanabe, but Billy Starks decided out of generosity to return it to her, but she gave her a message coming from, of course, none other than Momo. And that's exactly what she did. And then she gave her her cup of tea right in her face and just ran off. And just like that. Now, we all saw what happened recently with Toni Storm when she was attacked by Mariah May. So now apparently this is going to be interesting. So it seems that their match in Revolution, it's going to be a Hollywood ending. No count out, no time limit, any false count anywhere type of match. So that's going to be interesting from there. Our next match, we have Swerve Strickland taking on Clark Connors, who makes his return to AEW. We haven't seen him for quite some time in AEW, but now is going to. But however, this is the chance for Swerve to pick up the pace, to be the dangerous man he's supposed to be, in order to get the rollback that, of course, Ricochet took from him and from Prince Nana. But however, it was, of course, Swerve that walked away with the win with the house call, and just like that, it was over. But of course, we will see what happened in Revolution by the time we get there. Now, joining Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, Harley Cameron showed up. As you know, she had a very impressive win that she had this past Wednesday. As you all know, I witnessed it. I uploaded it on YouTube. Of Harley Cameron applying a move that had no finishing name. So Harley Cameron told Tony Schiavone that he was a genius, that's her move, or that's my move, however they call it. So Tony Schiavone's gonna do like what Sting did. That's her move. It's just like that. If you saw Nigel McGuinness, he looks like, what the hell did I got myself into? Yeah, he looks like he was a deer got hit by street lights, but by headlights, so he probably had no idea what he was getting himself into. But I'm sure he's agitated that Tony Schiavone gave that name. Now, anyway, we did see an interview with Alicia Toot talking with Big Boom AJ and Big Justice, doing their usual thing until they were interrupted by Johnny TV. So apparently, of course, now it seems Johnny TV wants to finish off Big Boom and said, how about this? You get 2 tag team partners and I'll get myself and MXM to team up. So we'll get to that in a bit. Now, our next match, we have Shane Taylor Promotions, the Infantry, Captain Sean Dean, and of course, Carly Bravo, along with Lee Moria, taking about a couple of guys, Nick Ruiz, Vinny Masario, and Dave Dutra. But you probably can guess this match was going to fall in favor for Shane Taylor Promotions when Lee Moriarty applied a flatliner onto Ruiz, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. However, while they were celebrating their victory, they were interrupted by Adam Cole, who was making his way to the ring to be part of the TNT Championship match, taking on Daniel Garcia. However, you would have thought this match would have been great if it wasn't for, of course, Shane Taylor Promotions getting involved. Daddy Magic tried to get involved, but it became a total war zone. I think the only reason is this: Shane Taylor Promotions are trying to prove that they are the ones who are going to prove they are the dominant force in AEW and Ring of Honor. So we'll see how that rolls up. Now, Big Boom, AJ, and Big Justice decided to find themselves some partners. So AJ found himself, of course, a tag team. Big Justice did found a good partner for him. So he found Orange Cassidy. So basically that was it. But of course, Big Justice wanted to join, but AJ decided, that he wasn't ready for it. So they were going to find a new one. However, OC suggested, how about him? And that was Mark Briscoe. So basically, of course, Briscoe likes to be. And of course, Big Justice say the word of the day, it's boom! Just like that. Now, our next match, we have Julia Hart versus Queen Aminata. So, as you know, Queen Aminata has been dealing with her issues towards what's her name, Serena Deeb, and Julia Hart, as you know, is trying to build up herself. But however, this match ended very interesting with Queen Aminata giving a headbutt, and then of course later on we did see a running kick into the face of Julia Hart, and just like that, Queen Aminata won the match. However, Brody King, as you know, been concerned for Julia, who's like a little sister to him, was attacked by Kaguchika Okada because earlier in the show, apparently they were doing a promo. They were interrupted by, of course, Okada. I'm not sure if he's trying to get under the skin, knowing the fact that he defeated Buddy Matthews back in Grand Slam. So that's something I'm sure we can consider. Now, Kenny Omega did a little video promo talking about how he's been hearing that snake of the grass piece of garbage. Don Callis talking, bragging about how Kaguchika Okada beat him twice in 1 week. It's like getting agitated for Kenny to hear that crap over and over. Yes, he beat him twice. Big whoop, That doesn't mean anything. But however, Kenny Omega knows what it has to be done at this moment. So we'll see what happens at Revolution. Now, our main event, we have Brian Keith and Big Bill of the Learning Tree taking on Bandido and Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, of course, as you know, Bandido has been a thorn on the side of the Learning Tree since his return. Powerhouse has been a thorn on the side of Big Bill, two big brutes. However, this match ended with Hobbs picking up the win when he applied a spine buster on Brian Keith, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. And it was just done just like that. So hope everybody enjoys that one. So from there on, we are officially done. But let's move on, of course, with our last and final thing, and that is, of course, news updates. So welcome to our news updates. So let's begin. We only have, of course, upcoming events. On March 11th, MARIGOLD will have a self-produced show made by none other than Nanane Takahashi with the Passion Countdown. As you all know, she'll be retiring in the first year anniversary of MARIGOLD's launch. And this is the card that will happen on the 11th of March, and it's going to take place in Shinjuku Face. Of course, we have Natsumi Shizuki versus Rhea Seto versus Ryoko Sakimura. We have Mirai versus Yuki Minami. Kizuna Tanaka, who's going to make her in-ring return, will take on Nagisa Nozaki. Then we have, of course, Utami Ayashida and Chika Goto taking on Bozilla and Mitsamatsui. Then, of course, we have Mai Sakurai, Miku Ano, and Chanyota taking on Chiaki, Megaton, and Gigaton. That's kind of interesting. And then, of course, we have our main event, Nane Takahashi taking on Victoria Yuzuki. So that's going to be a lot of fun to enjoy. As we continue with more, they just announced a match for the upcoming Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show in Ontario, and it's going to happen on March 14th, night 1. We have, of course, the Supernova, Kato Kiyomiya taking on Michael Oku. That's going to be a hell of a match. Satoshi Kojima has announced that he will be participating in the Battle Riot 7th that will take place on the 5th of April in LA. So that's going to be fun. An interesting match has been announced for the upcoming Las Vegas show for Prestige Wrestling, Nothing to Lose, on the 17th of April. Galeno de Mal will team up with his big brother, Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., along with Eris. And they'll take on the guys from Z-Brats, from Dragon Gate, Shun Skywalker, Kato Miyonora, and of course Ishin. And then finally, TJPW, Tokyo Pro Wrestling, has announced that Hyper Masai will do another self-produced show, Hype 3, that will take place on June 27th. And it's going to be at the Katazawa Town Hall. No announcement who will be participating or what the card's going to be. So I'll stay close to this as soon as possible. Once we hear more of this, you all will know. But for now, we are officially done with everything. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I'll be doing, of course, another DWZ discussion. Now, some of you may have seen me do this maybe 2 or 3 times, whatever the count I did. We talk about the Cosmic Angels. The only reason I'm doing this now, as you know, a lot is at stake with the leader of the Cosmic Angels. Tam Nakano is putting her career on the line against Saya Kamitani, who's been a thorn in her side since she went to the dark side. So, but I'm also going to talk about what makes the Cosmic Angels special. As you all know, earlier this year they've been announced they have won for the fourth time in 4 years the best unit for weekly pro wrestling, uh, which is very unprecedented. So I'm going to be talking about what makes them special, and of course every member from left and right. Now, as for our next episode, I haven't decided yet, so I'm going to decide that by just winging it. So we'll see how that rolls up. But for now, I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah, and have a nice day. Bang.